Reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems something.
Hey everyone, B1B Flyer here, and it is time to finally unbox the Battletech Clan Invasion set from the Kickstarter. Got the box set here. Full disclosure, I bought my own set. Catalyst didn't send me anything for free, so this opinion and unboxing is totally of my own and in no way influenced whatsoever. The Kickstarter does have the Kickstarter exclusive artwork for the box. That's the only thing that will be different from the retail version. So if you're seeing this and it's on shelves and you're curious about what's inside, the only difference will be the box art. We'll flip it over real quick. You can see here retail MSRP is $49.99 US. You can find it on pre-order right now if you're just looking at this as it's released for a little bit less on several discounters and game sellers. So that's the price point. It lists what's inside. The only thing it doesn't list, and actually the image of it is right behind the list of the contents, is the inner sphere map that's got a 3052 and 3025 double-sided map, which is larger than the regular map sheets. I've got a couple of pictures of those that I'll show later. The key thing I wanted to bring up is this red text right here on the paragraph describing that the Battletech Clan Invasion box is a supplement to the Battletech A Game of Armored Combat box, which is required to use this set. Basically, this doesn't have the core starter rules or basic rules for Battletech that you would get in the A Game of Armored Combat. This is expanded rules for using clan and clan tactics. So keep that in mind, it's not a standalone game. You need another rule set, either a rule book or the A Game of Armored Combat box set, which would have the basic rules in it there. The Kickstarter version has the 35030K as a designation. The retail one just won't have the K. As you open the box, you'll be greeted by a star worth of mechs and 2 elemental stands and a short story by Blaine Lee Pardoe. You'll get your 15 cards for Alpha Strike and just the mech and mech warrior cards there, some dice, and then a blister carriage that keeps everything separate. We'll get into this stuff a little bit later. For the rest of the contents, you get the Clan Invasion primer, soft cover, full color. Goes over the major invading clans because that's the era that's involved, a couple of the operations, and then you've got some descriptions of Omnimechs and a few other products that will be helpful for you depending on what game you want to play, Classic Battletech, Destiny, or Alpha Strike. The Invasion rulebook, even though it's not a Battletech rulebook for playing Battletech, this is a expansion or supplement to the regular rules. It's very clan-centric. It talks about construction, force building, which is really more for campaign operations or in conjunction with campaign operations. So it really kind of delves into a little bit more advanced and drawn-out type of Battletech play. Again, not the rules to play the game. You need a actual rulebook or from the Armored Combat box set. You do get all the weapons and equipment tables for the clan mechs, as in 3050 they'd be brand new. Talks about some of the elementals and the ways they can do their attacks against mechs and against other elementals. Talks about their specific maneuvers and things that are unique towards battle armored infantry. Like I said, you get the construction rules. Thought that was kind of interesting that they threw that in there, but good for them to cover it at least so that you can understand that Battletech's a highly customizable game set, and obviously these being Omnimechs, the whole point of them being able to be modified is so that you could do it to your liking. Again, here's the force building. It talks relatively quickly here about campaign operations being something that this is best suited to integrate with. Talks about organization, the formations of stars, and then also talks about some honor rules and how to fight like a clanner. You get 3 scenarios: a trial of possession, the blooding, and as well as a worlds collide, which would be the scenario that lets you fight the inner sphere, And it gives you all the gunnery and piloting for those miniatures or mechs so that you know what to kind of balance out. You can adjust it accordingly. And then you just get a gallery of some cool artwork and painted miniatures. Now we're on to one of my favorite things included into this box set. This is the double-sided 3025-3050 map. It's really high quality gloss finish on both sides. You can see the image here. It is larger than a standard map sheet. And I'm hoping that sometime in the near future or at some point later on that Catalyst will offer this either as a unfolded or rolled version from their store so that you could get it framed. I just think it would be a really cool thing to have on the wall, and I think the quality of it would be suitable for framing. If you're not terribly put off by the creases and flatten them out, that's fine, but that's my hope anyway. Just like in the Game of Armored Combat set, you get all the record sheets for each of the mechs. What they also did though was include on the second half the Inner Sphere mechs from the Game of Armored Combat, so you'll have them both in one booklet, so that's kind of cool. And you also get the Battle Armor one, so which would be important if you want to use those elementals. A little bonus punch-out card, mechs and terrain. Just like in the Game of Armored Combat, although these are clan mechs instead, and you get some slightly different terrain elements to add, which is nice to have if you want to add your map sheets and this is the only thing you're just getting into and you don't have a whole lot of terrain. Also, it's great to add a few more units if you don't have them all, or you want to try something out, or just maybe give this to a friend and let them have some mechs to use initially just to get a feel for the game. This is the standard Battletech cheat sheet here that lets you know all the rules, double-sided. Get that in every box set. And then the two map sheets. These are different than the ones you get in the Game of Armored Combat, so that's great. You get the Hilltops and Rolling Hills 2, and then you get some Barren Wastelands. You can see the images here that I've taken of them, but these are just standard folded paper map sheets of the same quality as you have gotten before if you bought the last box sets that have been released after 2018. So moving on to the miniatures, you get a star of clan mechs, a Nova, Grendel, Timberwolf, Executioner, and Adder, and 2 stands or points of elementals. They're the same sculpt. Talk about those first. If you buy the elemental pack when it's later released, you'll just get the same ones. I do wish there was some variety, I'm not going to lie. I do wish there was either an option or a separate piece for the jettisoned SRM elemental as well. But overall, we've seen these for a while if you've been following the Kickstarter. If not, they've been out for a while. It's a complete redesign of the way the elementals look. But overall, they're a solid improvement as far as the scaling is concerned. They're accurate to 6mm scale, or 1:285. You do get the 2 jump jet plume ones, so it's at least a vertically interesting infantry stand. You can do all kinds of things as far as removing these. Maybe I've got some plans for those. Onto the mechs, the Adder. It's got a little bit of a lean. If you've seen my videos before on using hot water and reshaping ones, you can fix that if you don't like it. Kind of actually looking at it now, it doesn't seem to bother me. Nothing seems to be overly bent, but I'll do a review of each miniatures pack as able. For the Nova, just a fairly even stance. It's not really walking or anything. I kind of wish it was a little bit more dynamic, but it is what it is. I do like the resculpt of the Grendel. Really happy with the way this has turned out. Definitely a lot more detail, much better scale. Definitely looks like it's be a good one for taking paint. The Timberwolf has a lot of improvements. I like the fact that the arms now have some substance to them, so they're not going to be easily bent. A lot less likelihood of getting the Mickey Mouse ears on this particular sculpt due to the L type of seating arrangement there where it lines up to the body, but it is a little bit off. The only thing that I don't like about this, and they did this on the standard Marauder as well, is that there is a visible post below the foot. Now I understand obviously they need to secure the miniatures to the bases, but you'll see in some of the other reviews I do of the miniatures is that they could have done a smaller contact point. I will do a demonstration of how to remove that in the future. And then the Executioner, the biggest boy in the box. Nothing really to say about this sculpt other than, I mean, it's really cool. I've already painted one before. Really was a good model to paint. I really did enjoy the extra detail. Much improved over the old school clan metal sculpts, at least as far as detail and then scaling. And that's it. That's the contents of the Clan Invasion box set. Again, these opinions are my own. I didn't get paid or sponsored by Catalyst. I will do more unboxing and miniature reviews in a separate video. That's all I've got. Tex, take us out.
We certainly hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and leave your questions or comments below. Follow us on Facebook at Battletech Camo Specs Online. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Heat critical, shutdown imminent. Time for Pop-Tarts.